Hey guys, how's it going? Owner here, and welcome to a new Formula Sim Racing 2014 Pro Series season. I am of course Owner, and we are here at the circuit of Silverstone in Great Britain for the 6th round of the Formula Sim Racing 2014 Pro Series. So that's it then. A warm welcome to Silverstone, one of my favorite tracks, probably my favorite track actually on the whole calendar. This track has always been a very special track for me. I really like it. They have obviously the new layout, as we see my outlap of Q1. They obviously have this new layout, which isn't really that new anymore. It has been there since 2010, I believe. If you ask me whether I would prefer the old layout over the new one, I'm not sure actually. I think they both have their advantages and disadvantages. I don't really like the loop in the new section, but at the same time, I didn't really like a certain part of the old layout either, so I don't really care. I like this a lot too, and if these corners where I'm going through right now are in the layout, then I'm already happy. I mean, these corners are for me the best corners probably in the world. They are so cool, and obviously I used to play F1 2013 a lot. Some of you guys may know that, a lot of subscribers know me from that game, but it's something completely different in rFactor, and to be honest, in rFactor it feels so good, even better than in F1 2013. It feels really good. But okay, enough talking. We are going to start my Q1 lap then. So the target is to go to the top 10, and is to set a time good enough for the top 10 and then advance to Q2. So here we go. Going to start the lap now. So this is the new section then, the arena section. We just went through Abbey, which is the first corner, then this is the second one, coming up to the third corner, which is Village. Taking that corner pretty good. You want to carry quite a bit of speed into there, but compromise your exit for the loop. This is the loop, and you want to get a good exit there. Traction is pretty important on this track, and then open up the DRS. Well, you want a good balance here, because in some parts it is high downforce, some parts medium, so you need to find a good balance in your setup. Then this section here with Luffield and Brooklands, another pretty good section. But then the greatness starts with Cops Corner, the first corner of the old layout, obviously. So here you go, Cops Corner. Can I take it flat out? Let's listen. Yeah, that's flat out. Just left the draft slow you down as we go to into Maggots, Baggets and Chapel. Watch this. Flat out through that first right-hander, I think that is Maggots, and then obviously shift down those gears as we go onto Hanger Straight now, opening up the DRS. There you can see it, DRS is wide open as we come onto Stowe Corner. Very important corner, you want to get this right, get early on the throttle as early as you can, pick up a little bit of oversteer, well not really that time, but always you pick up quite a bit of wheel spin the whole time really, once you go on the throttle pretty early there. Final sector didn't really nail that curve there, so I had to wait for the car to stabilize itself and then get on the throttle as we do a 130, 1.9, so that's good enough for second place. And that is then that is indeed good enough to advance to Q2. So here we go, this is Q2. You only have one lap to get it right, and your setup you're going to use now, you have to use it as well in the race, except for the fuel load. So obviously low fuel run, and then in the race obviously you put in a lot of fuel. So Q2 then underway. Let's see what we can do. I was really confident actually, well not really confident, I was pretty confident I should say before the race. I was fairly confident, and basically at first I wasn't confident at all. I did quite a bit of practice and it just didn't go well, and then we have the races on Sunday, and first day before the race I said to myself, well, I'm gonna have to do something else because it's not going my way. My times weren't good, I was stuck in the 32s, so I reset everything, started a new setup, and it didn't work either. I still was stuck in the 32s, and I knew that I had to go into the 31s. But then on Saturday night, so one day before the race, I loaded suspension settings from Imola. Obviously not going to tell you which suspension settings exactly. I mean, that's all a secret as I let a car through there. But I loaded my Imola suspension settings and they worked really good. I was straight away a bit faster, then improved more in the setup, and eventually I got a 131.6 as my PB with a 131.4 optimal. I could have got a 131.2, I think, with an incredible lap, like a perfect lap, but obviously perfect laps are really hard to get. So I think 31.4 would be a decent personal best for me, but my personal best was actually 131.6, as I tried to focus on race pace too a little bit, because you know, one day before the race, not a lot of time remaining. There we go. By the way, I'm the penultimate car to do my lap, so that means there's just one car behind me who is going to do that lap. I'm one of the last guys, and it's actually Rens Klopp who is behind me. So here we go then, going to start my lap. Let's see how it goes. First corner, Abbey, taking it flat out, obviously. Let the downforce just go its way, let it generate downforce for you. As you slow down, the car gets a bit more unstable as you have less higher speed, obviously. Then this acceleration zone, which is really important. Didn't really get on the throttle as early as I wanted to, but still a pretty average first sector, I would say. Then entering the second sector. Now these corners here are pretty important, carry a lot of speed into there. I could have carried maybe a little bit more speed, but you want to nail that apex there, which I did beautifully actually. Then shifting down to second gear and a short shift up to third gear. On the exit here, try to get as early on throttle as you can and keep your wheel as straight as you can on the traction, under the traction zone. Next corner, Cops corner, should be flat out once again. Let's listen. Yeah, you can just hear the ref sink away as you turn in, and you pick up a little bit of drag. Then Maggot's baggage jump off. This is flat out, and then go down the gears here. Glitch the curb a little bit too much probably. Slight oversteer moment, you didn't really see it there, but I definitely had to wait with my throttle as I clipped that curb a little bit too much, as I said. Then Stoke corner now, you want to brake when the curb starts. Shift down to fourth gear, then a little bit of oversteer, there you can see it, there was a little wiggle, keeping it just about as well within the white lines, within the track limits. And in this final sector, need to nail this, but not really nailing that. You want to get over those curves a little bit more in order to get earlier on the throttle, which I couldn't really do. But still, it's P2 at the moment, but still, we need Rens Klopp. He was the final guy who was going to do his lap, but actually, look at this, a very, very, very rare mistake from Rens Klopp in my opinion. Let's watch this. I think carried a little bit too much speed into that corner, and I analyzed it a little bit. And actually, when you look at his throttle inputs, look at that in the bottom left of the corner, bottom left of the screen. You can see there he just pressed the throttle a little bit. Now I don't know. I actually have to ask Rens, but that could have been the cause of his incident, and that is then pretty surprising, as Rens Klopp is then going to start in 9th position. By the way, Jorik Boshoff, my teammate, he starts further down the field because he didn't have a lot of practice at all, and he was too late to allocate for the race. So that means he needs to start from the back, I think. I think it went something like that. But Jorik didn't have a lot of practice because he was busy, personal commitments, and that's the way it is then. So starting the formation lap now, you can see the cars going through screen there, and it will be very interesting to see if Rens Klopp can make his way up to the field. He obviously starts in 9th place, and the person who is in front of me is Mikko Swokas, the Finn. A very good job from him, getting pole position. I think he was just on a 2/10 quicker than me. 32.0 from my point of view, my lap time. Wasn't really that happy with it. I could have gone a bit quicker, but it's the way it is. It was average, I would say. Daniel Brewer is in 3rd, as we go scroll down the field. Jonathan Holmes 4th, Victor even a 5th. James Seller, we can see him there. He has done a pretty decent qualifying. He's down there in 6th position. Alessio Campos in 7th. Sander Kailas in 8th. Rens Klopp then in 9th. And in 10th it is Sebastiano Filosa. So interesting lineup. And actually a disadvantage for me is that I am starting from the dirty side of the road. By the way, Adrian Falcon is not here. And the reason for that is I think that he was busy with personal commitments too, but I could be wrong on that, so I'm sorry if I am wrong. Also, one thing to mention is that I think there has been something going wrong with the cars. There's someone starting from the pits too, and there we can see Jorik on the back of the field. I think there was something wrong with the cars. Some cars, I'm not sure though, but I think it's the way that is. Some cars are driving in the wrong skin, but that could be me. I think it's the problem with Victor Ivanov and Mike Partington, who are not in the right cars. At least that's what it looked like for me, but don't know. Doesn't matter anyway. We are starting from second position on the dirty side of the road though. So can I make a good start? I was hoping for it, but I wasn't sure. So we do a few more burnouts until I reach my grid spot. There we go, one more burnout, and that's everything ready. Everything was good. Tires were up to temperature, brakes were up to temperature, so I was ready to go. Now we wait for the rest of the field to line up, and then we are ready to go. I'm waiting for the 5 lights. Starting from this right hand side of the track, the dirty side. Let's see what I can do. I don't think I can challenge Miko into the first couple of corners, as he starts on the Robert side of the track, but we will see what we can do. So we're waiting for the lights then, and we should see them anytime now. There we go, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and let's have a look. Lights are out and away we go for the Silverstone Grand Prix round 6. And pretty decent start, pretty good actually, as I'm still in second place. Daniel Brewer there trying to go around my outside, but no, that's not gonna happen. Look at that carnage in the back as we go through the first couple of corners. Still behind Miko now, as you see the cars flying through the field. And there we can see a twister car. Rens Klopp has already made up a lot of positions, as you can see him there. A little bit more carnage in the back though, as look at this, I'm pretty close behind Miko here. I have to lift a little bit out of that corner. I will explain later to you why I did that, as we are still behind Miko, pretty close. Can I overtake him? We're having a little look, but no, I'm definitely too far back. Not gonna overtake him now. And now we come to one crucial part, and it is the dirty air. In this on this track, in the second sector with the dirty air, it is so hard to stay behind someone close. You will see that during this race a lot of times, I think, with the dirty air. Once you pick it up, you're gonna have to slow down so much more, or just compromise your line or your exit speed, take a different line. But it is really hard, as we have this beautiful shot. And there we saw that, 2 twister cars behind each other. I don't know if Rens is in front of his teammate Jonathan. I don't think so actually. He might be actually, I'm not sure. But either way, Rens Klopp has made up a lot of positions. As you see Miko going a little bit defensive, trying to keep me out of his slipstream. As we almost complete our first lap. Now, no incidents up front, but there was definitely carnage at the back, which we have seen, and we will have a look at a replay of that soon. Final corners here. I don't really like these corners. I actually hate them. Well, not hate them, but that is definitely the worst part of the track for me. So let's have a look then at the replay. Let's see what happened. First of all, my point of view. Here we go. So I didn't expect at all to have such a great start on the dirty side of the road. I thought I was going to lose at least 1 place to Daniel Brewer, but luckily that didn't happen for me. Here we go, lights went out. Took a pretty long time before they went out actually, but that's the way it is. Little bit of a lift there through the first corner, because I knew that Daniel Brewer was around my outside. Didn't know what he was going to do, but luckily we left each other enough room. And that are the first couple of corners then. I had a pretty good exit out of this corner. Much better than Miko's exit. But unfortunately, I couldn't stick it. And I lifted there because I saw before in the previous races that people spun out really easily there once they were following each other. Once they were following another car really close. So Rens Klopp's point of view, and look at this. Rens Klopp, actually, I think he made a false start, and he is weaving a little bit too. I think that's out of frustration, but correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not entirely sure. So that is what happened with Rens Klopp then, and I can indeed confirm that he has a drive-through penalty, as he's right now behind his teammate Jonathan Holmes. So that might explain the good start of Rens Klopp, but I think even without that false start, he would have made up quite a few positions. Rens Klopp is such a strong driver. Now we have a look at Fred. Fred was further down the field, so we can have a look at what happened here as they entered the first corner, and slide tap, and he just went flying through the air. Look at that, a little bit of lag involved there. Sorry about that, but that's what happened in the back then, and that all explains it, I guess. James Sadler, meanwhile, he is currently in P7, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was P7, so he probably lost 1 position at the start. Rens Klopp, don't know if he's still driving. doesn't look like it. I think that's Rens going through the village now. Yeah, that must be Rens. So Rens went into the pits for his drive-through, and we see Yorick now in 22nd position, trying to make up a couple of places. Obviously, after he had to start from the last position, he is also running on the prime tire. You can see it there. The compound here for the races are medium and hard, and he has a little loop there, but no, decides to back out of it there. So still in lap 2, and we can see us kind of bit of a train going on here with Klopp overtaking. I think that's Coriala. No, that wasn't. Not sure who it was then. Couldn't see the name. It went through the screen really quickly. Either way, Rens Klopp further down the field now, trying to make up a couple of positions. Obviously, Rens Klopp, the title contender. Same for Yorick. They both are really awesome drivers. Rens Klopp currently leading the championship. Entering lap 3 now, pretty close behind Miko, and I feel pretty confident. And actually, the pit window here is about lap 12, and you want to do a one-stop here. That's really the thing you want to do here. 12 laps on the medium, and then do 19 laps on the harder tire. And it was going pretty well at this stage, 2 laps, and it always takes me quite a while before I settle down into a nice, good pace. And I didn't really notice that here, because I'm still pretty close behind Miko. Actually, within the DRS range, it looks like it visually. The DRS has been enabled this lap, has it? I think so. If not, it will be next lap for sure. But I think it has been enabled this lap already. Now, DRS isn't that powerful, because it is really hard, as I said, to stick behind someone with the dirty air in this sector. I mean, your best bet, I think, for overtaking is Hanger Straight, which is before Stowe Corner, where we just will come up in a short second after Chapel. But it's really close to stick behind someone over here. Going through here, and look at that, I just pick up so much understeer, running pretty wide too, and that just compromises your line the whole time. And you need to be closer to pick up more slipstream too, and then try to overtake. But I couldn't do it really, because the dirty air effect was pretty difficult to master. Also, I didn't have the highest top speed, as it looks like Miko and me are pulling away slightly from the rest of the field. We see Daniel Brewer there still in 3rd, so he's doing an awesome job too. Lap 4 now. Well, actually, we skip ahead to lap 5. There we go. And still pretty close behind Miko, but cannot get past him. Doing 1:35.8, which is reasonable. It's not the quickest time ever, not the slowest time either. And again, going to pick up the DRS, but I was the whole race really. I was pretty slow in the first sector, especially compared to Miko. Miko was really strong in the first sector, and I don't know if it is because of traction out of this corner here, or if it's just braking or cornering. Not entirely sure. You can see there my DRS being wide open as we close down Miko more and more. At least that's my objective, obviously. But I was demanding a lot from the tires at this stage, and I knew that within the next couple of laps I was gonna have to take it a bit more easy. This dirty air effect is really killing my tires, because it gives more understeer, and I knew at this rate that I had to do some tire saving later on in this stint in order to not compromise my final stint of the race on the prime tire. But I noticed as well that through these corners here I was usually quite a bit quicker than Miko. Not that time though, because I picked up a bit too much dirty air. But usually I was pretty quick through those couple of corners, maybe running a bit more downforce than him. Not entirely sure, although it does look like visually, because Miko seems to be getting about the same top speed as me, maybe slightly slower, but I have DRS obviously. Running a bit wide there on the exit of Stowe Corner, nothing too serious though at the moment, but definitely starting to notice the tire wear a little bit right now. We are just under halfway through the first stint. As I said, I want to pin in lap 12, and we skip a little bit further now. No, not yet actually. We don't skip at the moment. Still lap 6 then. Still chasing down Miko as best as I can, but Miko had a pretty solid pace, and I tried to put pressure on him, but he didn't make a single mistake. So going back on board with me, I should have DRS again. Yeah, definitely, as we go over this curb now, opening up the DRS then, and whoa, big oversteer moment actually. Well, not such a big oversteer moment. That looked really weird actually. It wasn't such a big oversteer moment. We definitely need to look at the replay because of that, but have a look at this. That was really weird, and actually I was pretty scared when that happens. My first thought was that I had a puncture or something. It really felt like that, but I think I just opened up my DRS too soon, and you could see there, by the way, the suspension movement as well. Beautiful job, by the way, by the rFactor developers, ISI. If you had a look at that replay, you could see the suspension moving quite a bit. You could see the weight changes, so that was pretty awesome to see as I run wide and spoon a bit too deep. That's going to compromise my exit too. It was this corner here, and I just opened up my DRS, I think, a bit too early. The weight was on the right hand side of the car, and as soon as I straightened up the car, it went, or it jumped I should say, to the left, and that really was a surprise for me. Pretty lucky to keep it on track, however. So that is good, as we have this good cool camera shot going through Lovefield or Brooklands. That is, I always confuse those corners. I think that hairpin is Brooklands. Oh, maybe Lovefield, I'm not sure. Anyway, we look onto the rear wing of Mikko, and you can definitely see that the gap between him and me has increased. So what I'm gonna do now is, I think my only bet is the prime stint. I need to perform well there, and then that's really my only chance in order to get a win here. But I don't still see a side of Rens Club. Obviously, you do try to pay a bit of attention to that. I think that car in 4th place is a twisted car, but that is still Jonathan Holmes. So top 4, it's pretty much... Oh, by the way, big oversteer moment there. I almost lost it again. I was really close once again on the exit of Stowe corner there. And definitely lost more time there. And that was a wake-up call for me. Wake-up call to say, careful on these tires, you're almost going off. Let's have a look at the replay. I think too early on the throttle, getting too much wheel spin, clipped the curb there slightly a bit too. Well, that's definitely not the problem. I think just too greedy, too keen with the throttle. So we have another look at that from the T-cam. Just about kept it, and actually got pretty lucky there. I got back on the throttle and got even more wheel spin. Once again, I think I got lucky there. Anyway, we enter the end of lap 9 now. We can see Mikko there, and then we can see me. I can confirm that in the last lap or so, I chased down Mikko, closed the gap again. I think I was about 2 tenths quicker, so not a lot separating Mikko and me at the moment. But it's good to see that I was slightly faster, not a lot though. I think I was slightly faster anyway. And we're coming up to the pits phase though. And I noticed that my tires were pretty worn. It's not really all the tires, it's just the front left, which is really a front left limited track. I think I should put it like that. See Daniel Brewer here, so I should be able to continue 2 laps, at least that's what I wanted. But I noticed that my tire wear was really high front left, and I noticed that, and you then pick up understeer. I mean, when your tires, your tire life get below 50%, you start to feel more oversteer. Once they go below 30%, you start to feel a lot of understeer. As we now see here, lap 10, and whoa, big oversteer moment, and lost it again in Stowe corner. Pretty similar to what happened at first, but this time I spun on the entry, and look at that, Daniel Brewer going off too. We have 2 cars off now, and I destroyed my tires thanks to that, and I'm gonna have to pit. Look in the mirrors though, gonna have to be smart now and don't get in anyone's way and then crash. So I let Jonathan Holmes through there, and then I could enter safely into the pits. But disaster for me, and I think it was my own mistake there. We will have a look at the replay soon for sure. And that puts Thomas Coriola behind me now, you can see there. And Daniel Brewer has got past me, even though he had that spin too. So very weird. We had 2 guys off at the same corner, the same lap. And I can indeed tell you that it was my own mistake. I don't think it had anything to do with tire wear. It just was my own mistake, as we will see right now. So let's have a look. I got on the curb on the left hand side. There! You see that? I'm on the curb there. And that's something you should do. I did this too in the practice. Exact same mistake. I did it in the practice too. And the same thing happened. And then the anti-stall system comes into play. And then you have to clutch again. And then you are able to go again. So that's why I pressed the throttle and you could hear the engine scream for a little second there. And then and that's not what the engine sounds like. But you know what I mean. You know the swing. And then Daniel Brewer, he just crashed in the middle of the corner, really mid-corner, and actually the cause of his spin was he shifted down mid corner from 4th to 3rd gear, Something unusual, I think. I don't know if he went third gear through that corner the whole time, but it definitely didn't work there. And now we saw Rensklop there going through screen. Rensklop has been pushing a lot, I think, over the last couple of laps, and he's doing an awesome job currently, obviously in front of me, although he still has to make a pit stop. So now I'm on the prime tire, extending the track a little bit there. Shouldn't do that too much, obviously, in the race. And that puts Thomas Coriala pretty close behind me after I made that spin. And another mistake. I'm gonna have to focus here as I'm losing my concentration, and this is definitely not good. Starting to make mistakes even on these fresher set of tires, and we see that Coriala, I don't know if he's within the RS range. It's gonna be close, I think, judging from it visually, and definitely not good from my point. Just touch the curb on the left hand side, and then you can see how vulnerable you are, really. In these cars, it is sometimes so hard to drive these cars, like seriously, and when it goes your way, I love these cars. I love it to drive these cars when it goes your way. Like when you're going quick, when, as I said, when things are going your way, there's nothing really that that works out so great as in this game. Like when everything goes well in this game, it gives a feeling which cannot be beaten by any other game. That's the way I'm gonna put it. As we enter lap 12 now, and we can see that I'm in 9th position, but I catched up to a group of cars in front of me, including Daniel Brewer, who is a little bit stuck in there. He overtook Victor Ivanov, who is now in front of me, and Mike Partington behind me, so I'm a bit in a sandwich here between the two teammates, Mike and Victor. We can see that's such a big group, though. It's gonna be a great battle here. Look at that. A lot of cars. We can see James Sadler there in the background too, as Victor probably had a very, very poor loop, and now I'm pretty close behind him, so let's see what I can do. With the DRS obviously wide open, but we can see Rensklop, by the way, there too, making a pass on Garcia, and I am too far back at the moment to overtake Victor just yet, but he goes a bit deep there. You can see me taking different lines now and taking a wide entry here in order to get early on flow. As I tap there Victor, and I shouldn't do that. Victor there weaving a little bit too. Don't know if that's out of frustration. Might be he may be a little bit angry as I have to lift off now, and that releases Mike Partington and Thomas Coriala, and he overtakes me too. And I should say indeed that is probably a mistake or a fault. From my point of view, that was my own fault. I should apologize. I'm sorry, Victor, for that. But at the same time, I do think he left the door quite a bit open there. And as soon as I dived into that gap, he closed that gap as well. So it's a bit unfortunate, but it's the way it is. And right now I have James Sadler too, very close behind me. Look at this, what an awesome battle between Coriala and Victor, even of two right now. But Coriala at the moment too far back to overtake, although I have a good exit here out of Stoke corner and going on the inside of Coriala, breaking late here. Can I take him here? He's still around my outside. Do I have to leave him room? And now I'm on the outside for the next corner. Look at this, picked up a little bit of oversteer though, and that's it. Coriala gets the place back. So great defending from Coriala, going side by side there through a couple of corners, but definitely that cost us time as Victor Ivanov is now really far up front. Well, not really far, but pretty far in front of Coriala too. And look at this, I think I made a bit of contact, not sure though, and then picked up oversteer and could luckily correct it, otherwise I would have slammed into Coriala. No contact made there though once I picked up my oversteer moment. But for the viewers who have paid a lot of attention during this video, you guys might have noticed that Coriala is actually on the medium tire, so he's gonna have to pit again, and I think that was a mistake from his fault. Maybe you will remember my race in Canada where I selected the wrong tire, and that is basically what happened to Coriala too, I believe. Not entirely sure though. As you see, James Sadler pretty close behind me now too, so we are two teammates, and hopefully we will be clever enough and not take each other out. I could have let James through, but I never like letting someone through. I'm not that kind of person, really. I always will fight for it, even when I have really old tires and the car behind me has new tires. I always want to fight for it and don't let anyone through, really. So we see Coriola there and James too, extending Cobb's corner. That is just because of the dirty air, though. The dirty air is so horrible and it's really hard to not extend any corners. But look at this though, having a beautiful couple of corners here, as all cars in front of me get compromised by the dirty air, and it puts me right up Coriola's gearbox again, as we are in lap 14 out of 31. And can I take him already? No, definitely not. The top speed is just not great enough here, and the DRS is not effective enough to overtake. But once again, getting pretty early on the floor, although I had a bit of oversteer mid-corner. And now Thomas Coriola goes very deep here, and this is my chance. Gonna have to take a different line here in order to get early on the floor, which I do indeed as Victor. Ooh, close the door quite a bit there. Now look at it, more chaos. Victor rejoins the track as they make contact. They make more contact and they spin. They spin off, and now I get hit by James Sadler, and I'm off too. And I have to rejoin the track here. Be careful, safely rejoin the track, and as I am in position 8, so somehow that actually worked out for me, because I gained all those places on all those cars. I think there were 4 cars in front of me, so I must have gained 4 positions because of that. But we definitely need to have a look at that replay there. Victor goes off track, tries to rejoin the track before the grass starts to come, and then they just bump into each other, and that causes a crash. And I got crashed by James Sadler, which is obviously sad to see. I don't want to blame James Sadler there. I mean, there's not a lot he could do really. He just tried to avoid the incident that happened up front. I was on the left hand side there excuse me, and he just turned into the left too in order to avoid that incident. We see it from here. I actually lifted for that incident. I lifted because I saw a crash coming. I really did. I was like, no, I have to lift off here. Because they can crash at any time, and indeed the crash happened. One more point of view. This is, I think, the best point of view. You can see the banging just going on up front there, and then they spin, and I think that spin just caught James's attention, and he tried to go to the left, and unfortunately I got hit off there. But look at this, look at my front wing. I hope you saw it there, left hand side of my front wing. I am missing a front end plate, so I missed a front end plate. And actually this might be a little bit of a funny story. I didn't notice at this time, and I didn't notice it until today. Today is Monday, so one day after the race. Today a friend actually told me, a friend of mine told me that I lost my front end plate. And that's the first time I heard that, and it's indeed true. I didn't knew I lost my front end plate there. But at the same time, we jump now to lap 28, so only 3 laps to go. We skip ahead a lot of laps here. But that's okay, because not a lot has happened. There's a group still in front of me with Corey, no, that's not Coriola, with Campus, Brewer, Mike Partington, and that is me then up behind. I gained a little bit of time on this group. I think the gap was about 9 seconds after that incident, and the gap is about 6 seconds, I would say right now. I think it was 6 seconds. Just gained every lap quite a bit of time once they were battling, which is obvious. I mean, once you battle, you slow each other down. But looking at it right now, with benefit of hindsight, I think that front end plate must be... as I have an oversteer moment in Cobb's corner, that's never good to see. With that front end plate missing, or is it an end plate? I think it's just a piece of the front wing, really. With that part missing... Sorry, having voice crack-ups. With that part missing, I think it generates a little bit less downforce. You don't really notice it that much. I didn't even notice the difference, to be honest. But I think it gives a little bit more understeer. And that is probably why I wasn't entirely happy with this prime stint, as we see Mike Partington off. Mike Partington is off. And this is going to create an interesting battle here with just 2 laps to go. And I am pretty close behind Mike Partington. But I didn't have the tires anymore. Remember, I pitted in lap 10. And that means I wanted to pit in lap 12. So I have to do 2 laps more than I initially wanted to on this set of tires. So I didn't push. I didn't push this stint. I was just driving like average, I would say. Pretty tire conserving in the right hand corners. You know, just try to be as careful as you can on that front left. And I actually had about 38% of my tires left, I think, at this stage. And as I said, once you go below 30%, your tires, well, you feel a lot of understeer. You feel the car quite slippery. Once it is above 30%, as the back marker gets out of the way. But when it reaches below 30%, it really gets horrible. You really feel the understeer, especially in the right hand corners then, because it's the front left which is really destroying. But as I said, pitting in lap 10 didn't help, because it compromised me throughout my whole final stint. I just had to be more careful than I wanted to, and now obviously as well with the part of my front wing missing where I've been driving with a couple of laps, it's not great. As you see there, my DRS is open. So will we have an interesting battle here? I am currently, I think, in 7th. Yeah, I'm in 7th place because I was in 8th place before, but Coriola pitted because remember he selected medium again, and you have to use both compounds in the race. You see my partner having a pretty poor line there. This will compromise his exit, I think. Yeah, it compromised him ever so slightly, not a lot though. So, lap 31, out of 31, we skipped 1 lap ahead. As you see, the whole video has been, there's been some debris laying there. I think that's because of the crash which happened at the first lap. As you see me pushing now though, missing my apex quite a bit there, just trying to brake late. There is not a lot of life left in the tires, but I'm sure it will be the same for Mike Partington. I don't know when Mikey pitted, maybe a little bit later, but as I said, not really sure about that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna have to do everything I can. But look at this. The response from the tires is just so slow. And look at the steering inputs here. And now you can see that I pick up a bit more understeer. Short shifting up to 3rd gear. Try to have a good exit. Bit of oversteer though. But I'm pretty close. And I will have the DRS. But I'm gonna have to be closer if I want to overtake him. So I'm gonna have to have a good second sector here. Missed my apex a little bit in Cobb's corner, but it could have been worse. And now we enter these corners, the corners where I've been pretty decent at in this race currently. But I don't take them right this time, and a bit of oversteer there too. You can just see how slippery those tires are as the front left gets a bit more worn too. And you can see the understeer in the front, in the right hand corners. The DRS is wide open, I can tell you that, but it looks like it's too far back. I'm too far back. Well, I'm not gonna give up just yet. Who knows? It might all happen in these final couple of corners. Had a good stroke corner there. You could definitely see that I close him down visually. Braking really late there. Slight lock up. But nailing these corners though. And look at this. Pretty close behind him. Can I get early on the throttle? Yes, I can indeed too. Going around the outside. No, that's not going to happen. Mikey squeezes me wide. He has the right to do so. And that's it. 7th place then. And I am across the line. What a race. What a race, really. Couldn't believe that, to be honest. I wasn't satisfied with the result, but at the same time I was satisfied with, I guess, with the race. It was such a fun race, and after it I said I could have done another race of 31 laps. I just enjoyed this track so much. I love the track. Anyway, here we have a look at a replay. So I got a really good exit, and then yeah, Mikey did squeeze me a little bit wide, to be fair, but at the same time, to be fair to me, I think I was too far back anyway. Meanwhile, Mikko Swokas, the Finn, took the victory, and look who is in 2nd place. Look who is in 2nd place. It's Rens Klopp. Rens Klopp from 9th position up to P2 after he had a drive-through penalty. Very, very impressive. As we see some back markers going through the screen now. And we see Jonathan Holmes. I think he takes home this 3rd place, so that's the podium. Congratulations to the podium, and that is the race then. So these are the new championship standings. I'm in 6th place behind Alessio Campos. And we have the summer break now. Summer break of about 4 weeks, I think it is. 5 weeks maybe. Until we arrive to the next track, which will be Hockenheim. A track which I love too. Well, not really love. I just like the track. We have the race results. Finished 32 seconds behind the leader. Which is not good, considering I was pretty close behind him. A couple of seconds in the first stint. But it's the way it is. Yorick in the 10th place, picking up a point. So that he will be probably happy with that. And here we have more status from the race, more stats from the race. So I think that's it. As I said, I was pretty satisfied with the result. Not satisfied with the result, but somehow pretty satisfied with, I guess, the driving. I made that mistake, which cost me, and obviously you don't like it when that happens, but you're gonna have to recover that from that as best as you can. I lost a lot of positions there, and I think that mistake I made in Stoke Corner definitely compromised me for the whole race, because I had to pit earlier, had to be more careful than on my prime run, my final stint, and I think you guys can all get it. And I don't have a lot more to say other than thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for watching. I definitely think that if I could have won, it could have been here, because it was looking pretty good actually in that first stint, but I just made that mistake. And why I'm saying that I could have maybe won here was because of Rens Klopp and Jorik Boshoff being not at the front in the first couple of laps. Obviously, a great drive from Rens, same for Jorik. They have done once again an awesome job, and I just need to improve. Let's put it that way. I just need to improve. I'm gonna be honest. I need to improve and get a more consistent pace and stop making those mistakes, because I'm making those mistakes too much in the race. Anyway, I'm gonna enjoy the summer break for sure, and hopefully we will come back very, very strong. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate a like. And that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.